let's start from the beginning. So we have ball at the top of the key. Center is table side. Trail, we're too high. I can't see them in the screen. We got to work a little bit lower. Lead, I'm good with lead's position. I think we're a little closed off. So, lead, let's open our shoulders up a little bit. That's going to allow us to widen our vision and pick up more of the court. So let's open our shoulders and face players, okay? And then on a court like this, let's not even be in the blue area. Let's work deep. If we have the opportunity to work deep, let's do it. We work in a number of gyms that don't provide us that opportunity, and so I get that. We can't work deep. But in a court like this, take advantage. Work deep, work wide. You'll be able to take in much more action and keep it in front of you. But open your shoulders. But I'm good with our positioning as far as where we are laterally on the court with the ball at the top of the key. Now you're going to see the ball get passed over to the table side, and the C picks up the count. Okay, fine. Well, when the ball comes over to this side of the court and settles in like this, this is your cue, leads. Lead, you need to come across, okay? Because if we don't, that center is going to be left to officiate this primary ball defender matchup and any other players on that side of the court, which is an impossible ask. So if the ball settles on this side of the court, lead, you got to come, okay? And that applies to two-person just as well. So two-person, if the ball settles on this side, lead, come across. You're going to be right about the R, and you're going to be officiating back into the paint, okay? And then if the ball goes back up the other side of the court, you just fill in on the opposite side. But leads, you need, in a three-person system, we need to come on a play like this. Because now look, now we got four players. We got a primary defender matchup, and we have a ball screen with his defender, and the center is left to officiate all of that. So lead, you got to get over so you can help. I'm fine with the C's position, but preferably we'd like to work below the matchup and officiate for space. And again, if you're looking at 11's back, then we're not in a good spot. We need to move. And we've all been there. We've all said, I really shouldn't be standing here. Yet we stay there. We don't move. And if that's the case, if we tell ourselves, you know what, I really shouldn't be here because I'm looking through, rear ends and elbows, then you got to move. So get lower, look through space. That way you can be a much better judge of whether number 11 creates contact or not, whether or not that defensive player maintains legal guardian position, because he's established it at this point, and we just need to see if he maintains it. So let's see how this play develops and how we could be helped better with the lead coming across. So we have secondary defender contact, okay? If this is a Minnesota play, we don't have an arc on this court, but this is a secondary defender. He's grounded, okay? Oop, let me go back. So two pieces on this. The original primary defender, okay, he ends up going underneath the screen and temporarily switches with number 2, okay, very temporary, and then slips underneath the screen to assume a defensive position against number 11. This player is a secondary defender by rule, and he needs to establish legal guardian position outside of the restricted area to avoid a restricted area blocking foul. And I think if the lead moves over, we're going to be in much better position to view this develop. Now, in this case, when contact is made, he probably is outside of what would be the restricted area, but just something to be aware of, that he's secondary by rule. And now what we need to judge, the reason I say the lead needs to come over on a play like this is the lead needs to officiate the secondary defender and decide if he establishes legal guarding position or not at the time of contact. And there's really no way he can tell from where he's standing. If he goes across and he's at about like the R, he's going to have a really good idea of what this defensive player did and whether he's established legal guarding position or not, and then who's responsible for the contact. So let's just watch how this play develops and decide. So based on what we just saw, it sure seems that even though he's a secondary defender, it sure seems like he establishes legal guarding position, and then the offensive player dribbles into him. And his left leg just so happens to move backwards at the time of contact, but that's as a result of the contact that was created by the offensive player. So to me, this is a no call. We shouldn't have anything on this play. This is offensive initiated contact. It's not substantial. It's incidental, really, at best. And so we really shouldn't have anything on this play. And I think the only reason we do is because we're not in proper position. And then after he blows the whistle, I think he knows he shouldn't have had anything. And then he doesn't know what to do with the result of the play and doesn't communicate it very well. So you see, and we're way too fast. The contact occurs, and within a millisecond of the contact, he's already blown his whistle, and he doesn't know what to do. So it appears number 20 establishes legal guarding position. Contacts created by the offensive player. This should be a no call. And if we're going to call it a blocking foul, let's get back to what we talked about earlier, is we're going way too fast, and subsequently we're not awarding players with continuation that have earned it. Now, I'm not saying he definitely earned it in this play, because he really shouldn't have been called for a foul in the first place, number 20, okay? But since he's already gathered at the time of contact, so if you're going to call a defensive foul, we have to give this guy free throws.